my name is Selena Maisonpierre. Thank you so much for being here. Today I have 5 easy poses to help with low back pain. So we are gonna get started in a comfortable seat. I'm gonna have you swing your legs around, draw the soles of the feet together, knees will open wide. In a yoga practice, we call this Baddha Konasana. So I'm gonna start by having you bring your hands onto the front of your ankles and just butterfly the knees. If you find this really difficult and you're rounding in, you can sit on a blanket or a pillow. So you can do something that sort of props your seat up to help put you more in your hips, but you're gonna butterfly the knees a little bit. And then I'm going to have you take your hands back behind you, extend the legs out in front of you, and fold forward a little bit. If this is available in your body, we'll take this into more of a flow. So you're going to bend the knees, soles of the feet together, rock forward, extend the legs long, rock forward. A few more times. Bend the knees, soles of the feet together, knees wide, extend the legs, rock forward. If you want extra credit and add a little bit of abs in, we can do this with no hands. Let's do it for 3 and 2. And we've got 1 more. Whew. And you can meet me with your legs extended. Go ahead and rock the legs a little side to side. So what that is doing is just starting to lubricate your hips. Sometimes low back pain is actually just really tight hips. So we're just lubricating up the hip joints to get those nice and loose. Adding on for low back. Let's now come to lay all the way down onto your back. Bend the knees and just give yourself a moment to allow the spine to really settle into the floor. Okay, so find your breath. The breath is so important in living consciously and in really inviting a sense of like homeostasis and balance and ease and healing in the body is really starting to tune into the breath. From here, let's bend the knees and you'll hug the knees into the chest. You'll probably already feel some length and space in the low back. You can rock a little bit side to side. It probably feels like you're spreading the low back across the mat. I want you to just keep breathing into that space. So rocking side to side. This is a great one to do at the end of the day, especially if you've been sitting a lot, but also standing, just giving yourself that relief through the low back. Okay. Adding on, you're gonna keep holding onto the right knee, but lengthen the left leg long on the floor. And then hug the right knee a little bit deeper, and we'll rock the right knee a bit side to side. So we're lengthening across the left hip flexor, we're pulling in the right knee. You're gonna feel this still in the low back, and we're just bringing some movement into the hip socket. I talked about tight hips and the relationship with a tight low back. So this is a really nice one to do as well, just lubricating up that right hip socket. Come back through center, hug the left knee in, and we'll switch sides. So lengthen the right leg long, hug the left knee a little bit tighter, pull it a little bit wide, and then you'll rock the left knee side to side. And you just want to keep heavying that right leg. So you have 2 opposing forces. The right leg is heavy, the left knee is moving, and you're just exploring and kind of stirring through that hip socket, and you'll feel the back body across the floor as well. So those are a few more variations. Hug both knees into the chest. And then to add on kind of all of those 3 sequences into another posture, you'll come to a happy baby pose. So you're gonna grab for the outer edges of the feet, pull the knees in towards your armpits, and rock a little bit side to side here. So you can feel this is even deeper in the low back. Really good work. So we went from hugging the knees into the chest to lengthening one leg long at a time and rocking the opposite knee side to side to a happy baby pose. Such a nice sequence for opening and releasing the low back. Now I'll have you bring your knees into a tabletop position. Your shins are together, shins are about parallel to the floor. Arms will go wide. You can take them all the way wide into a T shape or a cactus shape, but you're gonna use your arms as leverage because we'll let the knees fall all the way over to the right. I already just cracked my back, so all the way over to the right. The knees stack on top of each other. Right hand can come on top of that left knee just to keep encouraging the left knee to ground. Left shoulder opens, vision towards the ceiling, or if you want to take it one step further, you can spin the nose and vision in the direction of the left fingertips, and we're just breathing here. So it's a twist, which is so good for bringing length into the spine and space in the low back. And then as I mentioned at the very beginning of this video, your breath is so important. So we don't want to be gripping here. We want to be breathing, and especially that exhale, letting go of any tension in the body and of course any tension in the low back. Let's take one more breath here. Softening the belly as well. The belly needs to be soft in our twists. And then you'll bring your knees back up through center, reorient the body because sometimes you'll get a little off kilter in those moments. Come back to a tabletop position. And now the knees fall all the way over to the left. That right knee and right hip stack on top. Left hand can come to the right knee just to keep the legs rooted and grounded, and then the right arm opens. You either look up to the ceiling or you gaze all the way over to the right hand side. Maybe noticing that two sides of the body can feel dramatically different. That's so fine, so normal. And as I said before, really focusing on the breath. Let's do two more here. Great work. Come back through center, reorienting your body on the floor, hugging the knees into the chest. And actually this time, another variation is to take your hands to the kneecaps and just kind of stir the knees around so you can kind of soften and relax the legs. Final posture, and this is great for me because I've got a couch with me. So if you have a couch or a chair, you're gonna want something to prop your legs up onto. So it's gonna be a variation of a legs up the wall. What that means is you'll come over to your elevated object, a couch or a chair, and you'll get nice and close to it with your hip, and then you'll swing your legs up. So you can see that my shins and calves are resting on the chair. My knees are supported, and the legs can like totally let go. And then lay back down on the ground. So you want to feel like your legs are really supported and you can truly just let go of any needing to hold the legs in any particular way. Take your arms really wide. You could take the arms up overhead, whatever feels good in your body, and just let yourself be here and let yourself be supported. It's a tiny bit of an inversion, meaning that our legs have been lifted higher than our heart. So we get a little bit of a switch in our blood flow, which is great for circulation. And you can stay here as long as you have. I always say at least 5 to 10 breaths though. Depending on your object that you have at home with you, there's another option to take your feet to the edge of that object and then let the knees open wide and the soles of the feet are together. So it's the same shape that we took at the beginning of this video, but now our legs are just elevated a little bit. And if you can see, I could take my hands to my knees and just gently press my thighs away from the torso, and you're pulling a bit of extra length in the low back and the hips. So this is another option. I've given you a couple of poses and variations to help with your low back pain. When you are ready, you'll close the knees, you'll roll over to one side, just being mindful and safe in however it is that you're getting out of your posture and prop setup. Coming to a comfortable seat, which is always such a wonderful way to set intention and bring intention to the time that you've set aside for your practice and for yourself and for really taking care of your body. We bring the hands together to a prayer shape at heart center just to honor that intention in space. And sealing always with gratitude. Namaste. And thank you. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Selena. If you have any questions whatsoever, be sure to reach out. My contact information is in the description below. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos like this to help you support a life of well-being and just support you in every other aspect of your life. Hope to see you on the mat soon. Have a great day.